Yes. We back. Conversations of the Heart. Season 2. Episode 26. The title is G3. With my brother, Ronald Smith II. Look forward to it. I hope you had an amazing week. See my brother Jamal in the building. Jamal, what up, baby? How was y'all week? Malika Music. What up, what up? My man's in here right now.
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me.
What's going on?
Let me polish the camera real quick.
Wow.
There we go. Can't be blocking God's blessings. You feel me?
What's good though, bro?
Nothing much, man. Bless, man. How about you?
Yo, everything is good, man. I can't go back. Like, so you knew, like, we're not.
Your audio seems like it's going in and out a little bit. Your audio seems like it's going in and out a little bit, like it's not too clear.
It's not clear though.
Semi. It's like at a 60%.
Everybody, can you hear me now?
Maybe it's a me thing.
Can you hear me
now?
That
sounds way better.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there we go. Way better. There we go.
All right, cool. So, first, for people who don't know, it's my man Ronald, man. First, my man is an actor, youth advocate. He wears a lot of hats. You know what I'm saying? And definitely somebody who I love building with as a brother. So, again, and he always makes himself available, you know what I'm saying, whenever I call. Man, so I definitely appreciate you, bro.
You already know.
Yes, sir. So let's talk. One, I want to talk about your new project. Because, you know, you are an incredible actor.
Yeah, so the new project that's coming out tomorrow, less than 24 hours, is written, executive produced, and directed by, you know, my brother Dante, who is actually in the building as well. He wrote, directed it, and produced it. This is the technical third film to come out under our production company, Totem Dreams Productions. It's another romantic comedy. We got a lot of positive feedback from the last one, Baby Fever. Whoever hasn't seen that, the link is still in the bio. You dig? But yeah, we're definitely expecting even more from this one, man. This is, I mean, the title in itself tells you that you're in for a treat. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give away too much, but the title itself is called Demon Time. Go to the page, look at the picture. You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
Yo, like when I saw the title, I was intrigued.
You know something? When you watch the movie, right? So when Dante first came up with the idea and was telling me about it, when he told me about it, the only song in my head I could think of was WAP. And I was like, yo, you know, my co-star, shout out to Alicia. I was like, yo, her character got the WAP. There's no way. Ronald, I'm not going through all that. You got me all the way messed up. But my character, like, he goes through it, like, the WAP. And I'm like, all right, you know, shout out, you know, but yeah, I mean, and then when he sent me because he also created the poster, when he sent me the poster, I was automatically in love with it, you know?
Crazy. And that drops tomorrow.
7 p.m.
Correct?
On every last one of my social media platforms.
So I kind of wanted to just have a little bit of a conversation. And actually, before I get into that, what other projects you got? Because I know you always working. I know you always working.
So the next upcoming film after this one that should be coming out is a film called The Curse Within. And yes, The Curse Within. I was mixing two different projects up, my bad. But yeah, The Curse Within. Honestly speaking, that is one that I'm really excited for people to see. I've spoken to you privately about it, but you know, that right there, man, that's hands down, that's the best acting I've ever done on film. It was the most I've ever had to stretch myself as an actor from, you know, creating a journal of this character, you know, or for this character rather. Really diving into things like, you know, he's the quote unquote villain of the movie.
Right.
And to, you know, to dive into that character, him being everything what I'm not as a person, representing everything that I do.
Right.
That was a huge stretch, and I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So that one should be coming out, I'm gonna say summer of 2023. I mean summer of 2022. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been getting some positive stuff from the production team about that one. And after that, man, it's just a matter of creating the following, you know, the next few things that, you know, myself, the rest of the team are working on. You know, Bittersweet Series Season 2 is in the works. Yeah, I know you've been waiting on that one.
That's the one I've been waiting on, baby.
Yeah. Early January 2022 is when we should start capturing some of those first scenes, but it's almost done being written. Before it was, you know, shout out to Brianna Abdullah. Before it was just her writing and everything like that. Now the entire team is on board. Dante's, you know, in on it. I'm helping out on that side as well. So this one, I think you're going to be in for a lot more treats with more people in the writing room, more people on the producing side and everything. So it's going to be dope. It's going to be dope.
Fire, bro. You know, it's been a journey since we've first met. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to salute you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you've grown and stretched a lot. I wish I didn't, man. I wasn't even thinking.
Man, but
nevertheless.
Every time Till tell me we doing a live, I got to have one next to me, you know? Never know what we about to dive into.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, because we going to do that. But definitely, man, salute to you, man. Like, your growth, man, and how you stretched yourself from when I first met you until now, man. It's been amazing to see, man. So definitely, man, just want to definitely salute you, bro, because you're doing some amazing things on set, off set, just in life.
That, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That. From your mouth to God's ears, man. I received that.
Yes, sir. So I want to talk, and speaking of that, I titled this conversation G3. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's, you know, goals, growth, and grace. And I want to talk to you about growth. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because you've grown a lot. And man, I mean, I know you've grown a lot down through the years, but since I've met you, I think, when did I meet you? 2016?
No, it was like 2015, 2016. No, it was like 2016, 2016.
Yeah, 2016, right? Yeah. And just talk to me about the evolution of growth, right? Because a lot can happen in 5 years. A lot has happened
in 5 years, man. A lot has happened.
In 5 years. You know, some of us step into growth, right? Some of us sabotage our growth. You know, some of us, right, are just we're in a time where it's like, yo, it's a marathon, not a sprint. A lot of us feel like it's a sprint and not a marathon. You know what I'm saying? So take me through like your process, man, over the last few years with just growth, man.
I want to say the biggest word that comes to mind when we talk about my growth over the past 5 years since we've met, the first word that comes to mind is humility. Life has humbled me in a lot of different ways. You know, things that people told me before, tried to teach me before, I'm just now downloading those lessons. You know what I mean? Like, one of the first things that comes to mind, one of my roommates in college, Paul, he used to always tell me, work smart, not hard. Because I thrive myself on working hard. You know, growing up, that you have to work hard. You watch all these success talks. If you want to be successful, you have to work hard. You know what I mean? So it's all about working hard. And I find myself working hard and just bumping into wall after wall after wall. And it's like, where am I messing up at? And life has forced me to take a step back, sit down, Like even right now, I'm in this season of being still. No matter how bad I want to get up and go, it's like, no, sit down. Just appreciate this time of stillness and just download what, what's coming to you. So the first word that comes to mind is humility. And just within the lessons that life has taught me, it's also got me closer to my faith, man. I've suffered a lot of losses, not in the sense of death, but in the sense of like lost friendships, lost relationships. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those have happened, and I don't really speak much on them, especially not over social media. Like I hate that stuff, but like a lot of that has happened as well. So it's taught me to appreciate the relationships that I have now and actually build on them. I'm someone who I really enjoy my alone time. I enjoy my alone time. I enjoy doing a lot of things alone or with a very, 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 very small group of people. But it's taught me to appreciate even some of those that are on the outside, or, some of those who, I've known just as long as I've known you, but it's like, cool, I may not reach out as often, or I never say happy birthday, because for me, it's always like, oh, it's another birthday. These come around every year, but it's like, damn, what if theirs doesn't? Send them a video saying happy birthday. You know what I mean? Like those little things. So it's taught me to appreciate relationships. So I would say growth over the past 5 years came with God showing me I need to sit my ass down and listen.
And it's funny that you said sometimes, sending a video saying happy birthday. Like we've gotten very, I guess, just with the same run of the mill text messaging. Hey, how you doing? You good? Cool. Blah 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 blah. And it's the same thing, right? But like I'll send a voice note. I'll send, a video saying, hey, how you doing? Like, because it kind of breaks up the monotony of just the stuff that we've been doing. And then it also perks up the person's mind. It sparks something in their mind that they're like, oh my, like you sent a voice note? Oh, that's dope. Oh, you sent the video? Damn, thanks. Like it's different versus the regular.
And I mean,
the regular
even nowadays,
right?
like the big thing is, like I had one friend reach out to me a while ago. Their birthday came and went. Of course I texted them and said happy birthday, but they didn't respond. And they didn't respond because they said, well, you didn't post it on your you didn't post it on your IG story. And it's like, I have your number. That's why I contacted you directly.
Right.
So it's like, even those sort of things, like kind of like deter me away from like wanting to reach out. Like, do I have to do these things for the gram? Like it does. So my happy birthday doesn't count because I didn't put a picture of us on an Insta story. You know what I mean? But it's like, even within hearing that, it made me feel I had to read between the lines of what that person was saying. It's not just about the happy birthday. What I gathered from it was, I want people to know that I'm important to you as well. I want to feel important to you, more importantly. So I had to receive it as, okay, I can do better in that retrospect. I'm going to show you that you're a bit more important to me than I have been showing you, because maybe the simple happy birthday text with the emoji scotch glass isn't enough. I'm going to do more. I can accept that. You know what I mean? But,
and also you have to know the person too. So now the way that people view these things, it's like, well, if he did it for other people and then he's just choosing not to do it for me, now that tells me the hierarchy, and right, that's how people take it, right? Not necessarily that that's true, but that's how people take this type of stuff. Now, if you're a person who just don't do it at all, well, people really can't take it a certain way, and they usually don't. But if they see you posting, 5 people or 10 people, and then they get left off, that's when they get offended.
You want to know something? That's where us as people really need to mature, because we really have to think about those sorts of responses and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Like, because the reason why I don't do it is because I had that exact same experience. Like, their birthday came around, I didn't post about it, but prior to that, someone else's birthday came around and I did post about it. And it was like, well, I was in a better mood that day. Your birthday came around, I wasn't feeling in high spirits. I wasn't in a happy space, so I didn't feel like posting. But I did reach out to you. You know what I mean? And it's like, at the same time, how selfish? Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Oh, you did it for that person. My birthday came, I don't even remember hearing from you. What are we talking about? And then the response I got to that was, well, you didn't post about your birthday. I don't need to say happy birthday to me on social media. What world are we living in? I don't like it here. I don't like it here.
He said I hate it.
Right.
He said I hate it here.
I hate it.
Oh man. And but I do think that, I do like, doing different things. I do like telling people I care in a different way. I think that's very different. You know what I'm saying? So to get a little bit more creative with the people that you love, your friends, your significant other, your family, your mom, whoever it is, your dad, like really, you know what I'm saying, getting creative and telling them a different way. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be on social media.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? But just to let them know, like, yo, I care. And some people feel like, yo, I don't have the time. Some people are like, yo, I don't have the time. Like, I'm busy. And I'm like, man, a text take like 2 seconds, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what the other person is going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just that message that you send to them, hey, I'm thinking about you, hope you're having a good day, could change their whole entire outlook on their day.
Very true.
Because they could feel lonely, they could feel down, they could just feel like, man, like I'm really having a bad week and everybody's against me and I'm not hitting my goals. Whatever it is, that little spark, it's like, oh man, I'm not alone. Like somebody sees me.
Yeah. And you want to.
That's the thing. You want to.
The thing is that, and I don't mean to like, go back and forth between like genders or anything like that. But a friend of mine a while ago, texted me. Text me in the morning, but it was like this really, really just motivational text. Like I told them I was not in good space, and then they reached out to me, and they sent me this really, really motivating text, and I was like, I texted back like, man, you don't have any idea how much this means. Like, I don't normally get stuff like that. Normally I get, from my bros, it's like, unless we're having a deep convo, it's like, oh, you good, bro, you got this. From my spiritual family, it's God got you, don't worry about it, pray about it. It's like, you know what I mean? I appreciate it, but it's like,
but that's not where we're at.
A simple text saying what you appreciate about the person, or how the person has inspired you, and how that they'll pick those words have so much weight, and people don't truly understand it. They don't.
It's very, very true. It's like I said, I think this year on New Year's Eve, like I got the most random text from somebody, and like right as the clock struck 12, and just them telling me just what I've done for them in their life, and how they appreciate it, and going into the new year, they just wanted me to know. And I was just like, man, like that right there just put a whole battery in my back. Like, yo, I can't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you help people, they take the help, and like you never really hear from them again. You know what I'm saying? Which you know what I mean? It's cool. You know what I'm saying? But for the people that actually turn back and say, man, hey, yo, this is like, I got this, man. And it's like, yo, thank you. And it's like, yeah, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? That you can make impact on people. You know what I'm saying? And it's important to tell people how you feel about them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I think that's something that it's like, yo, like, it's not a man thing, a woman thing. Like, yo, if you make an impact on my life, like I've told you, I've sent you messages like, yo, you made an impact, this, that, and yo, thank you. Keep doing it. Like,
but that's a part of what makes
our
relationship special, because we have that sort of bond to where we both have the understanding of what those words mean to each other. You know what I mean? So, like, for instance, so I do it. We'll be out. We'll have a drink. Yo, let me tell you about it. You know what I mean? But it's because
it's, those days,
it's a matter of showing your appreciation for the person, and like we have the understanding of just how much that actually matters. You know what I mean? Even if it's responded with the, all right, man, appreciate you, bro. Like, you heard what I said. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's important to express your feelings and express your gratitude to a person's presence in your life. You know what I mean?
It's a big fact. And it does a lot for their mental health too. You know what I'm saying? It, especially when somebody's going through, especially depression. And a lot of times people, you don't even know that people are going through depression, because
people don't even know that
they show like fact. And also people put, like, when people are on social media, Like what they do is they smile a lot. You know what I mean? They with their friends, or they by themselves, or they're always happy,
Yeah.
right? So you think, oh, like they're happy, it's cool, but you don't know internally what that person is going through. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's the biggest thing. So it takes nothing to be nice. It takes nothing, you know what I'm saying, to just send a word, you know what I'm saying? So that's something that's so important for us, especially as a culture
Absolutely.
too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because we need all the encouragement that we can get
Absolutely.
um, on multiple levels. You know, like we see what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying? So people, especially last year with all the stuff that was going on with the George Floyd and this and that. Like there was a lot of stuff going
Yeah.
on last year
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
every year.
Well, see, the thing is, the thing
You
is,
know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
last year was the first year in a while that the whole world felt it. Now given you and I, we feel it every day, every year.
Right,
But last year
right.
was that year where it was like, holy, what? What?
And you know why? You
Oh,
know
of
why they felt
course.
it? Because, well, one, because they have
Yep.
nowhere to go. They had no choice but to sit and
Yep.
watch. If life was as normal, it would have just been
Yeah.
another one of those. But when you got to sit in the house and all the news coverage is this, all social media is this, and you can't go anywhere, you can't hide from it, you can't work
Yep.
it away, you can't go to
You
the
can't even
gym,
turn. You can't even
you got
turn
to
to a
sit there.
basketball game right now.
Nothing. You got to sit there and actually see it. And when you see it, you're like, oh, I can't believe this is
Exactly.
going on.
It's been a long time
Really,
since America saw a public
it's
lynching.
been a long time. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So when you have or when you can just sit down and that's all you got to do. It's like, yo, all right, cool. Like, wow, like I didn't know it was that bad. Oh, now you didn't know it was that bad,
Exactly.
but we knew
Exactly.
it
And it
was that
still
bad.
is. It still is. Yeah.
It still is. Um, so transitioning, speaking of when it comes to grace, right? I always say, just give yourself grace. Why do you think that it's so much harder to give yourself grace versus giving others grace? Because I feel we give a lot of people that's in our lives grace, even when they don't deserve it. Even when even when they're making mistakes, they're doing certain things to us, they're whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? They're not bringing peace into our life, but we say, oh, it's okay. Like, we always find a way to kind of just, give them the grace. But for us, the person in the mirror, it's like, I am going to be as hard on you as possible and not give myself the same grace that I give to strangers.
So,
Why do you think?
I mean, it goes back into that old saying. I mean, we are our, own worst critics. I mean, think
Worst
about it.
enemy. Yeah,
Think
yeah,
about how
yeah.
often you talk to a youth and, man, they've just been in a slump lately, and it's like, listen, it's okay to be there. Just make sure you get up, but you never give it to yourself. Those days you're feeling lazy, you beat yourself
Right.
up like, come on, man, we got to do better. We got to do better. It's because we are our own worst critics. We have to, and especially coming from a certain generation and a certain race, we're not often
Mm-hmm.
allotted that. We're not often allotted grace. Like, grace is a privilege. Growing up, grace is, and even
Mm-hmm.
now, grace is still a privilege. That famous saying of you have to be twice as good to get half of what they got. It's not false. Things have
Mm-hmm.
changed a bit, so
Mm-hmm.
may not have to be twice as good, maybe 1.7 times as good. You know what I mean? But
Yes, sir.
grace is a privilege. We have not been allotted that. That's not something that is given. It's important that we give it to ourselves, but whoever taught us to. You know what I mean? You go to school,
Right.
what happens?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You get a bad grade, you get
Mm-hmm.
reprimanded. You speak out of turn, now you have detention. Like, there's never been grace in our lives. It's never been shown. So now as adults, and it's like, why are you so hard on yourself? Shit, well, let me think about it. I got about, especially if you went to college, I got about 16 years of not having grace that I could tell you about. And that's only undergrad. We're not talking grad school. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even when you go home, what happens? Oh, your homework isn't done yet. Why not? Oh, well, I don't know how to vocalize to my parent that I'm feeling sad at the moment, but I still get in trouble. I don't know how to vocalize to my parent that, school was really, really hard. I'm not really understanding. Can you help me with the homework? Shit, you don't understand the homework, but I still get in trouble. Where's there ever been grace? So now as adults, it's like, well, why are you so hard on yourself? Shit, how much time you got for me to tell you about it? You know what I mean?
And when you put it that way, it's very true. And I also feel like, and people always say, man, you always talk about New York, but
we're a different breed. That's
that play a part. Yeah, like it's different when you're from New York. Like you really hard on yourself when you're from New York. That's just the way it is. That's just the way you're taught. That's just what, the big homies, that's what your parents, like everybody was hard on you. You know what I'm saying? To be the best. And they say it to say, hey, we want you to be the best that you could possibly be. That's why I'm so hard on you. But it's like you said, you're teaching me in the sense that no matter what I'm going through, no matter what turmoil that I'm experiencing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, no matter what you're telling me is to suck it up and deal with it instead of addressing it. That's two different things.
Have the conversation with your parents, how many times their parents did it with them. How many of their feelings were addressed? Right. It doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So it's like, now it's like, all right, how do we switch it up? And you and I often talk about this how do we switch it up? How do we fix it for the younger generation? Because it's not just going to change with them. It may take another 2 generations after that, but it has to start somewhere. So where do we start to fit that in? You know what I mean? When your kid is coming home from school, you're actually having a conversation with them outside of what do you have to do for homework? I want that done before you turn on the TV. Like, ask them questions. Who spoke to them today? Did they make a new friend? Did someone say something wrong to them? Why did they walk out of the school building with their head down? What's wrong? When are we going to start having those, that dialogue? You know what I mean? Because that's where the grace comes in. That's where we squeeze it in at. Letting your child know that, okay, cool. Not just it's going to be okay, but in order for this to be okay, let's try doing this tomorrow at school. Or in order for this to be okay, let's try saying this differently. You know what I mean? Or approach this differently. Hey, listen, leave it alone. The latest lesson I've been teaching my baby brother, mind your business. Mind it. It's yours. It's yours. He told me about, I picked him up from school one day in the car ride back home. He's telling me, I'm asking questions. He tells me about some kids who did something wrong. And, he said he didn't tell a teacher. I was like, all right, man, good job. He said, so I shouldn't tell a teacher? Be selective, man. Just take your time with it. But for right now, mind your business. Said, well, he's like, did I do the right thing by telling you? Yes, you did the perfect thing by telling me. But mind your business when you're in the building. You dig? Mind your business.
That's all. Just mind your business.
You know what I mean? But that's an important lesson, though. And then given, of course, everyone's like, oh, tell the teacher this, tell the teacher that. Not for this black kid in this all-white school. Nah, he's going to mind his business. He's coming home safe. Not bullied, not beat up. He's coming home. He's going to mind his business.
Right. Shaquita Marie says, not dealing with it causes trauma, conflict, and internalizes inside your heart.
From NYCDA. What's up?
Oh, word? Man, that's dope. Appreciate you for tuning in. So, and that's good because that is where we can start. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to start in the homes. It has to start where you're telling your kids, and giving and starting to give them grace. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's very militant sometimes, especially in the black families, right? Sometimes it can be very militant, and it doesn't even matter what you are. I don't care if you're Caribbean, if you're African, if you're African American, whatever. Like, it seems to be for the most part, not all, but very militant. You know what I'm saying? Do as I say, not as I do. Go upstairs, do your homework, make sure it's this, make sure it's that, this and that, there, boom, 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 boom. And people call that structure. And people call that discipline. Right?
Because they don't want to recognize that as generational trauma.
Fact. And sometimes it's that, and sometimes they may not want to be bothered.
Absolutely.
Because they're going through trauma in their own day, right? Because most people that have, a lot of people that have kids, they're having kids in traumatic situations. So, and then they're left with a lot of strain, right? Whether it be a single dad, a single mom, whatever it is, or this strife between the two parties, and the person who gets the wrath of that
is the child.
It's always the child. Always the child. Whether you're just leaving them alone all the time, like you're not giving them grace, you're taking your anger out, you're talking to them in a certain way, and then they grow up and they kind of do the same things, right? So like there's got to be a way, you know what I'm saying? And I know it starts in the home, but on a separate level, there are kids out there right now that aren't getting it in the home. So they've got to get it at school too. They got to get grace at school because that's where they spend a lot of their time too.
Right. That's where they spend a huge amount of their day. I mean, you're talking 8 hours, God.
Right.
Let's say that they have any extracurricular activities, that's another 2 to 3. So the majority of their day is at school. So you're absolutely right. But I think that's one of the things that make home and some of those extracurricular activities so important, because let's keep it 100. The Department of Education is going to only teach what the Department of Education approves. You know what I mean? They're only going to show what they approve. So when it comes to like, all right, well, cool. Your kid wants to go to karate. Where are you going to send them to karate at? Are they only going to learn karate, or are they going to learn some of the disciplines and everything that come with being an entire human being? Because we're talking about karate masters. They're grounded not in physical strength, but in mental and moral and emotional strength. You know what I mean? Where are you sending them at for karate classes? Something as simple as that matters. Nothing is arbitrary when it comes to the places that we put our kids in, and especially the adults that they're going to interact with. Nothing is arbitrary. So we can't take those things for granted. The Department of Education, they have been failing since I don't even know how long, but what other activities are we going to have our kids in? And you know what I mean?
And most of the time for us, it's sports. Of course, it's basketball. I think for me growing up, I had a very, I had a strict coach, and but you know what I mean. So it's like, but you get it everywhere. So you get it in sports, you get it at, but in places like martial arts, if you have a good teacher, they give grace, because you're gonna fail in martial arts. You're not gonna be a martial artist coming out the gate. You're not gonna break the blocks and the bricks and all that stuff. You're not gonna do that.
They expect everything immediately. So when it comes to things like what you're saying with the right martial arts teacher, it's the same thing God is doing to me as an adult. Sit your ass down and just listen.
Right. And that's and that's true. Now the other problem with that is, for a lot of these studios, and rightfully so, they charge a certain amount of money to go to these, to go to the right one, right? Sometimes not every family can afford it.
Very true.
And which poses a problem, right? Because now we're stuck with just going to the Y, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the Y, you know what I'm saying? But it's different when you're getting attention in a smaller group. You know what I'm saying? And that's something different, where somebody can teach your kid one-on-one, teaching them martial arts, but also teaching them, hey, this is discipline, right? But this is grace too, because you're not going to get it right now. But I'm going to show you if you have patience with who? Yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's something, I've watched my boy, he's a mixed martial artist, and he has his own dojo. Shout out to Mark. And I've watched him with kids. And the patience, right, that he has with the kids, and to watch them do what they do, and watch them fail first, and then he takes them aside. Okay, here's what you do. Boom, boom. Be patient with yourself. Now go. Boom. It's like, okay, I messed up, and they breathe, and then they go. Boom. And they do it. They do the move, and after that, they're happy as I don't know what. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's teaching them that it's okay. I didn't make a mistake.
I definitely tried to see if I can get my brother into after meeting Mark. I definitely
Oh,
tried
Mark.
to see if I could
Hmm.
get him in those classes, and my parents are like, "Well, are you going to be out here to drive him all the way out there? Because that's a bit far." And it's like, come on, man, what you willing to invest in this little man? You know what I mean? But I'm still pushing for it. I'm definitely still pushing for it.
I mean, this time, you know what I'm saying? Because he is little, he's still small, you know what I'm saying? But if they can get him in there, it's gonna change a lot. Like he's gonna like, you know what I mean? He's and number one, he's one of the sweetest kids. Um,
That's a gift and a
but man,
curse.
but you know, Mark, like he really
Yeah,
works with
I
those kids too, and
I
the
could
adults
tell.
too. You know what I'm saying? But with the kids, yeah. But just be careful when you spar with them, though. I tell you that
So no,
it's,
I
it's a
I would
different guy.
box and spar with him, but yeah.
Nah, I don't even know
Shout
if you
out to
want to do that.
Tanzania Hugely. I see that she just joined. Um, she she is
Shout out to Tanzania.
she is the writer and one of the producers on a series that I'm starring in called DNA. And you know, we've already begun filming. We already got a few episodes knocked out. That's definitely another one that's gonna
Fire.
turn some heads, and that
I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah.
forward. Listen, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm gonna support it and push it
Oh
out.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So just let me know when these things come up. I'm gonna
most
push it out,
definitely,
bro.
most
You
definitely.
already
Love
know.
you, Tans.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to Tanzania. Um, so so we went through two of the G's. Let's talk a little bit about goals. You know, it's like I said, times change from the time that I've met you, and we've both had in-depth discussions about goals, about what some of yours are, you know, what some of mine are, at the
Hmm.
time especially, and you've hit a lot of your goals. I'm not saying, and you're not done by any stretch of the
No,
imagination, you know, but
yeah,
you've hit,
I have,
like you've had some wins, like
I
you've
have.
had a lot of wins, like, and I've been blessed, you know what I'm saying, to see them. Um, you know what I'm saying? So talk to me a little bit about the way that you do goal setting, right? Set goals for yourself, right? When do you set your yearly goals,
Um,
right? What does that process
so
look like?
I mean, I definitely set yearly goals at the top of the year, but the goals evolve and change throughout the year. You know what I mean? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times when it comes
Yep.
to goals, we normally think of the tangibles instead of the intangibles. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
one of the goals that ended up coming up, I want to say toward the top of the year, maybe around March or April, um, was me being kinder to myself, like we were talking about earlier, giving yourself
Mm.
grace and everything like that. I beat myself
Yep.
up badly. Like, even talking to my
Mm.
therapist, man, like even she pointed out, like, man, you're just like, you're so hard on yourself, and you find yourself in these spaces of depression or anxiety and not realizing that you put yourself there. If, man, if
Mm-hmm.
you just said one thing nice to yourself every day, that would be it. So that
Mm.
was one of the goals that came up, and I want to say I've done better. And when I say I've done better, on the scale from 1 to 10, I went from 0 to about 3. But I don't, another thing that I've learned, that you got to appreciate those small wins as well. You know what I mean?
You
Um,
do.
One of the things, like even from a spiritual standpoint, one of my goals is to not underestimate the power of prayer. Like I pray for so much, but
Mm.
then I look at my life and I'm like, well, this isn't happening yet. That's not happening yet. Start beating myself down. And I
Mm-hmm.
was talking to a friend, and they enlightened me. Like, God uses us to speak to each other a lot of times. And, they were like, well, I mean, you pray for your family, but you tell me how great that they're doing. Your prayers are being answered. And it's like, damn, yo, you absolutely right. I pray for my family every day. I
Mm-hmm.
pray for them to flourish, both, tangibly and
Yeah.
intangibly. Like, and they're doing so much better. You know what I mean? Like my
Mm-hmm.
dad, within a 2 year span, got married, bought a house, and I never even knew this. He didn't tell me until the day he got it. He had just gotten his high school diploma. He was like, man,
Wow. Aging.
after seeing you get another degree, I was like, man, I at least got to get this. And it was like, wow, that's crazy. I never even knew you didn't have it. Because from my mindset, I'm
Right.
like, man, that's automatic. Everybody has one. you know, or, you know, has something close to it. You know what I mean? Like when you think of your parents, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he didn't have it. It was
Right.
like, man. So, you know, me understanding that those wins count as well and recognizing them as wins. You know what I mean? Regarding the tangible goals, I mean, actually, shit. This is what's hanging up in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
A list of goals. You know what I mean? I ain't going to
Mm-hmm.
put it up here too long, so I don't want these people trying to steal my shit. But you see at the bottom, another goal.
Mm-hmm.
Don't constrict yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
mm-hmm.
I was watching an interview, and the person asked this rapper, they said, what was the best advice you ever got? I don't really remember the answer to that because it was something that we've heard before, but they asked him what the worst advice he ever got, and he said, be realistic. And it was like, damn. So, I mean, I wrote this whole, you know, don't constrict yourself. I wrote this down months on top of months ago. But regarding that, that the worst advice of be realistic. How many times do we sit here and shoot down dreams or anything by telling someone to be realistic? You know what I mean? Like, think about, like, for instance, you have this show that you're doing, right? It's on so many different platforms, get so many different views. You know what I mean? Imagine if someone told you to be realistic. It wouldn't be happening. Imagine if all of us listened to that advice of don't be realistic or started to constrict ourselves. How many of us would be sitting here like, oh, well, you know, damn, I just got to get this good job and, you know, fuck it, married, kids, and, you know, that's life. Like, no, what the, you know what I mean? So it's like when it comes down to my goal setting, like from the tangible to intangibles, those are them for the most part. You know, the last intangible goal is, don't constrict myself. You know, even in this space now, this pandemic, where so many people are out of work because of, oh, hey, I won't get a vaccine, or, you know, so many different things. And even myself, where it's like, all right, well, cool, I'm trying to focus on my acting career, but there's so many different obstacles right now, even more so now because of this pandemic, back against the wall. Damn, I need to get a job. I don't even care if it's FedEx. I need to get a job. Because you're looking for some sort of stability outside of just saying like, all right, look, I'm all in. Now, whoever's listening, get your ass a job. If you need money, get a job. But don't constrict yourself. You don't have to be realistic. You can do more than that. You know?
That's dope. And shout out to Robin, my homegirl Robin. She's in the building.
Shout out to Robin.
You know, she creates these natural hair oils, and she always get my beard looking right. You know what I mean? Shout out to Robin for that.
Okay, I see you here, Trav.
You know, and stuff for the ladies too. And also shout out to her because now she's a proud owner. You know, of an event space in Queens.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, and that's big. You know what I'm saying? Black owned. You know, by Black women. You know what I'm saying? And she's doing amazing things. And that's a good example of somebody who doesn't constrict themselves. You know what I'm saying? She's in one lane, and then boom, like, yo, now we're here too. So I just wanted to salute to Robin for that, because you know, definitely she's doing some dope things. So when it comes to, you talk a lot about spirituality, right?
You see it.
And that plays a role, especially dope. It's a dope hoodie too. Tanzania in Queens, where so she hasn't had her opening yet. I think it's gonna either open the end of November or December. But I'll let you know. And you can shoot her a DM too.
There we go. So
Robin said,
Black women entrepreneurs on here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tanzania. You better slide in the DM, sis.
Robin. Yeah, man. That's all we got to do. Robin, if since you in the comments, tell the people when you may open or where the spot's gonna be at in Queens, because you know what I'm saying, we gotta build. You know what I mean? I'm not so sure on the specifics. You know what I mean? But yeah, like how has and listen, I don't care, y'all. If you have a beard, you don't have a beard, you better get some oils, man. You know what I mean? Nah, but she got oils. Nah, I know, man, but nah, she got the oils for the top. Oh, I got all of it, man. I got all of it, man. She got the shampoos too. I'm just saying, she got the shampoos.
Robin's DMs too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she got all that good stuff, man. So the spirituality, like the spiritual side that you talk about, and me and you have had conversations about, you know, our walks with God and stuff like that all the time. But from 2016 till now, right? How has your spirituality evolved from 2016 to now 2012? It's about to be 2022, if you could believe that. But how has it changed?
I have more of an understanding of what spirituality is. I have my own personal relationship with God, and I know for a fact, despite no matter how much of a fuck up I may be, how much I'm still loved and how much he still forgives me for certain things. You know what I mean? We were talking about the lack of grace that we get growing up. It happens in the church all the time as well. All the time. You do something wrong. Oh, you're sinning. This, that, and the third. Like the church that I was brought up in, the church that I grew up in, man, I call it a cult, you know, just because of how strict it was. But I mean, they didn't teach you different things. They didn't teach me the different parts of the Bible that I had to learn on my own. You know what I mean? Like how many of the people in the Bible that we worship are flawed. You know what I mean? Like Moses, a murderer, also had a stutter and was afraid. You know what I mean? Gideon, who the movie 300 is based off of, Gideon and the Mighty 300. Gideon was afraid. Noah, we all know about Noah's Ark. Noah was a drunk. You know what I mean? There's so many, like David and Goliath. We know about King David. David was an adulterer. He slept with a married woman, and he knew she was married. All these people that sit at the right hand of God are so imperfect. Jesus' best friend, Mary Magdalene, who was a prostitute, he stood right in front of her and said, "Let he without sin cast the first stone." Of course nobody could, but you wanted to stone her to death because she likes to sleep around? Like, so one of the things that the place where I've grown and the thing that I greatly appreciate about my spirituality is no matter how imperfect I am, I'm still forgiven. You know what I mean? And, you know, and I've been completely open with you about so many different things. I mean, man, the grace of God has really, 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 really been good to me, man. I have no complaints whatsoever. And the fact that I have a clearer understanding of who I am, what I've been. Like, I've been a liar. I've been a cheater. I've been a manipulator. I've been so many different things. But I'm still loved. The rest of the world wouldn't want you to know that, though. The rest of the world wants you to think that you're hated. Oh, God is so mad at you. You're a sinner. He knows I am. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? So it's like when I think about that, that's the first thing that comes to mind. My deeper understanding on spirituality and just exactly what it means, man. Exactly what it means. And anybody who is looking for understanding, don't listen to me, don't listen to anybody else. Crack open your word. Crack open your word. Talk to some people who aren't biased, who aren't trying to convert you, who aren't trying to just, you know, spit some facts to you. No, really, really build your own relationship.
And if you really take a look inside the pages, a lot of what you see is not so holy. If you really look inside of the pages,
the Bible is crazy. We talking about.
It was the reality show before the reality show.
Brother kills his brother. What we talking about?
You know, right. And that's the thing. And but we've also, I think, when it comes to like society, they pick and choose what to bring out from the Bible, scriptures and this and that. based off of either what political party you're from or what pretty much supports your cause, right? You know, and that's something that they do. And then even in the church, everybody wants you to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Where you're supposed to bring in the sinners. You know what I'm saying? Like,
people
it's very
really don't understand it because they don't build their own relationships anymore. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things I love that Tupac said, he was in prison, did his interview from prison, and he was expressing his frustrations at religion. He was just like, man, like, why I got to go to this building to talk to God? Why don't God come where he sent me? Why don't he come to the ghetto? X, Y, Z. Why God need gold ceilings? And he is so right. They look at it as just this angry black man on a rant, but it's like, where'd you ever see God in any of these places? Jesus was on the streets, walking the block. He was in the trap all day, every day.
Yeah, walking the block, man. We can't get rid of this New York, man.
That's where he
walking the block.
I mean, one of the few times that you can recall Jesus that's recorded in the Bible that you see Jesus in the church, he went over and flipped over the tables. Because he hated capitalism. Yep. Everyone always talks about, you got to tithe 10% a year. No, see, this is what they missing in church. Jesus flipped over those tables to tell you that's not what you have to do. What happens when you don't have money? Does that mean that you're not loved and you're not doing what you're supposed to do? No. Listen, as long as you follow the one commandment that Jesus said was most important when they asked him, love your neighbor as yourself. As long as you do that, you do right by the next person. God loves you. What else is there? What else you need? You don't need 10% of my paycheck. No, those things are good, especially if you have a home church and you want them to stay alive and stay afloat. You do what you do. But to the if you think about the parable of the old woman who didn't have any money, and these rich people in the church, and they gave all this money. She gave her final two, what is equivalent to less than pennies right now. She gave her final 2 pennies, and Jesus says she gave more than everybody. But these are the things that religion and the church don't necessarily want people to know. So it's like, this is why it's important for you to build your own relationship, because you would know. You would know Jesus despised all those things.
So we have the ladies in the chats making business deals while we're talking.
I've seen it.
I love it. Robin and Tanzania are in the comments discussing millions of dollars of what they're gonna do with it.
Got some of my old employees.
This is amazing.
Here. What's good, bro? I see you, man.
Making business deals. I love it. Connecting. This is what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? This is what we got to do for us. You know what I'm saying? So do me a favor. So for the people who just joined in late, tell the people about your upcoming film and when is it going to be released and where they can find it.
So the upcoming film dropping 23 hours and 6 minutes from now. It's titled Demon Time. It is another Dante Pinkney film, represented by Totem Dreams Productions, our production company. It is written, directed, and executive produced by Dante Pinkney. Shout out to Brianna Abdullah and A Blast Films for always coming on board. We've built a great professional relationship and work together. It's another romantic comedy, something that is deeply going to crack people up.
I was about to say, let the super Christians know it's not about demons. It is a romantic comedy.
Demons, but any person in the world, when you see that demon face come up, the demon with the smile, you see that come across your screen.
Exactly. Then you know what time it is.
But yeah, it's another romantic comedy. It's really, really funny. Definitely not anything rated R. We at a PG-13 level, so everybody can view it. Drops tomorrow. You can find it. I would say follow me on Instagram or even Facebook, Instagram. You can find me Y_RESTS. It's YRES. Look me up there. The link is in the bio. On Facebook, Ronald E. Smith II. The link will be posted there as well. Just click the link and we drive all traffic to one location.
Dope. Listen, again, I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate you. Appreciate your time. I know I know you're a very busy man at this point. You know what I mean? Filming, directing, writing,
I'm not gonna lie to
working.
people. I was
I
playing
mean, you're
2K
doing
before this. I was playing, but hey, you know, I was working on my hand-eye coordination because when it comes to certain,
yo, man, yo, get off, yo, man, get your phone. Yo, oh man, yo, you always bring something to the table, man. You know what I'm saying? That makes us think.
amen.
And so for that, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate you always. I've always appreciated our dialogue. I appreciate our brotherhood. Appreciate just who you are to the people and who you are to your family and what you put out into the world. It's always light. You know what I'm saying? It's always abundance. You know what I'm saying? So just keep doing what you're doing. You know, sky is the absolute, it's not even the limit, you know what I'm saying, for the things that you're about to do. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man, salute to you. Salute to your family. Tell your baby brother I said hello. To your mom I said hello. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Appreciate you, bro.
before you log
always,
off,
man. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna give you your flowers too, man, because I want to tell you how much I appreciate you and especially everything that you're doing, man. Like even within this moment, this 1 hour, for something that's, you know, something like a business deal to happen just within the comments, for the opportunity and the space and the platform to have this level of dialogue amongst two Black men doesn't happen too often. You know what I mean? So shout out to you. The sky is the limit. You know what
Appreciate
I mean? Everything that your heart desires is definitely coming your way. And you know, a special shout out to you, your mom, your brother, the rest of your family. Give them my love. I know what tomorrow is for you. Just know that I'm definitely one phone call away. You know what I'm saying? If you know, if you up to it, pull up to the crib. You may have to bring your own Johnny, but I'm here. I'm here.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, bro. And this ain't gonna be the last one.
No,
you already know.
Listen, I got a recurring role in this series. All right.
You actually, yeah, you absolutely do. And we're gonna talk about something in 2022. But you know, we'll do that at a later date.
Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm cooking. I'm thinking of something. I'm up to something.
Well, I'm here, man. I'm here. All right, brother.
Appreciate it. Yo, Robin, appreciate you, Robin. Thank you. And Robin, keep doing your thing too. Keep putting on for the ladies. Keep putting on for the community. You're doing big things. I'm proud of you.
All right, brother.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.